If you don't have the money to invest, there are 5 immediate things that you could do right now today in order to change that. Now, I can't begin to tell you just how many times I personally have heard the excuse that someone doesn't have the money to invest and therefore they never even get started. Or on the other hand, someone who's already investing but would like to invest even more but simply can't find the spare change to toss into the market. Now, if you feel that you don't have the money to invest or you're financially just not where you want to be, watch this video in full, but I'm going to warn you now, there are some hard truths to take in, and I'm not here to go easy on you. Ready? So we've all heard someone before complaining about not having enough time in their day to hit their goals or ultimately change their life with how they see fit. But then someone like me comes around, someone who's willing to shoot you straight, to say, show me your schedule and I'm going to tell you exactly where you're going wrong. And most times it's a matter of looking at their social media usage where hours upon hours are being sucked away from them. That very same logic applies to finances as well, whereas I'm here to say, just show me your spending habits and I'm going to easily be able to predict where you're going to be in months from now and why you're not hitting your financial goals. And this one may sting a bit. It rarely comes down to your salary. Now, the hard reality is that no one really feels their salary is enough, and therefore we can all find ways to climb the corporate ladder, which I recommend, but that's a different video altogether. Matter of fact, I can honestly say just having done each of these 5 hacks back in my early 20s changed my life entirely, and I wouldn't be sitting on north of $200,000 in my brokerage account alone if I didn't do them myself. With that, the first action you have to take today is writing down a personal mission statement. Now, most of you may be thinking, what the heck does that even have to do with actually investing more in the market? But there's a method to my madness, so bear with me. We naturally just forget why we are doing what we're doing, or even worse, what the hell we're even doing in the first place. Therefore, we find ourselves willingly allowing our time to be sucked away from us, whether that's in fact with social media, or maybe it's Netflix, or just aimlessly hanging out with friends, going absolutely nowhere fast, wasting time. Well, having a personal mission statement written out and cemented in, carried with you at all times, almost literally is your lifesaver in terms of allowing yourself to do what you should be doing. Now, consider this a contract between you and you. And I personally carry mine around with me in my wallet when I find myself at some fork in the road. It's my mission statement that ultimately helps me render the right decision. And when it comes to your mission statement, you can include anything you want on it. I have several life goals on mine, but of course, if you want to find yourself in good financial shape, my recommendation is to have a financial goal written down, and then aside from that, you need your why also written down next to it. Now, true story, way back when I quit my corporate job, this is way back in my early 20s, and I found myself walking into a gym for a job hours later, and I told the general manager that I wanted to help him double or triple the sales. He ultimately took me up on that offer, and I very quickly, like within a few months quickly, went from selling gym memberships to sales director, training all the sales reps how to actually sell gym memberships. What was my secret sauce? It was simple: making every individual who walked through my gym doors for a basic gym membership tell me their what and their why for being there. And it was rarely about losing weight. You see, I had to secure the legitimate whys, like people wanting energy back to play with their kids, wanting to look sexy in a dress, having confidence, escaping depression. I heard it all. But most importantly, it was the fact that these individuals got real with their what and their why and committed to it by writing it down, which meant the gym was able to retain them and members or over time hit their fitness goals. So apply this logic now, write down your financial goals, a what and a clear why for doing what the heck you're about to do, because none of it is going to be easy, but that statement that you're about to write will take you to the next step. Now, this leads me to the second actionable item, which comes down to tracking all of your expenses. And no, I'm not telling you to create a budget, because the reality is most of you will create some sort of budget and then never even stick to it. And at the end of the day, without really being in love with spreadsheets, budgeting can just feel like absolute death. And besides, if you're in the know about budgeting, the success metric is just that you're ensuring you're spending less than you're actually earning. It's as simple as that. Now, the spending part is what I want to focus on and what I'm going to start to tell you to really track. And this means you're going to need a small notepad and a pen to carry with you for at least 30 days. Now, again, there's a method to my madness here, and I'm telling you now that tracking your expenses with all the little apps and gadgets just won't cut it. So I'm going to tell you now that doing this the old school way, once again, will solidify the likely ridiculous spending habits in your own head more than some application on your phone doing all the work for you. Because at the end of the day, the idea here is to make you work for you so you can actually feel the pain of your ridiculous purchases. Now, not only will you start to question every little purchase solely based on the fact that you'll have to pull out that notepad and pen to write it all down, but you will really begin to recognize where exactly you are spending your money. Whether that's on a Snickers bar at some checkout counter, one too many Mocha Choca Starbucks coffees throughout your week, or dining out trend that might stick out to you, which will make you want to start making more meals at home before you venture out into the world. It's actually in taking this action, tracking every little expense, and I'm talking about every expense down to a penny spent, that will get you to take immediate cutback action on how you're spending without anyone actually needing to enter your life and tell you whether a purchase was necessary or not worth it. Now, personally, many of my clients and viewers who I worked with told me directly that just doing this for 30 days has changed the game for them entirely. So use this tactic wisely. But there are some bigger ticketed items that I also want to talk about, which leads me to our third action that you could take right now, and that's thinning down your expenses. Now, I get it. Most of you really just won't want to be as cutthroat or as all or nothing black and white as I am about cutting costs and investing like there's no tomorrow, even though that is in fact all of our realities in terms of needing more time to actually let the stock market and the law of compounding work effectively for us. But there's still hope for you, and it all comes down to simply putting your expenses on a bit of a diet, if you will, which means you don't have to cut out entirely or sacrifice certain expenses, but you can easily reduce them to surprisingly win back hundreds of dollars. Let me explain. If you have a gym membership and you've purchased the ultra premium all location fast pass VIP membership, which costs you an arm and a leg, you might reconsider that membership for the basic membership that is ultimately a fraction of the cost. Or on the other hand, something that you can literally do right now while listening to this video is check your Netflix subscription. I'm even going to walk through this with you so you can see from a sales perspective exactly what's going on and how you're getting schooled. So clicking into Netflix, which by the way, I don't even have a Netflix subscription and I'm doing fine, we come to this landing page to choose a plan. Now we're greeted with their initial tactics of telling us that there's no commitment and that we can cancel at any time, which means that they really want us to feel comfortable buying something right now. They're also hoping that we just forget about this subscription over time, as it's not going to be quote unquote that much anyways. But then again here, we're going to add in some comfortability knowing there's unlimited viewing on all of these devices. Then we're going to hit next here to see the plans, and notice their most expensive plan is also their most popular plan. Ironic. But also look into the wording here under the video and sound quality from good to great to best, which I would encourage you all to really put to the test to see if you can even notice the slightest of differences, and ultimately then question whether you really need the premium plan or if you could actually just go off the basic plan, which would give you, again, more spare cash to invest every month. But now think about your phone plan or other subscriptions like Amazon Prime. Is it necessary? How many times have you actually taken advantage of it? Enough so where it pays for itself, or are you just wasting money? The point is, you don't have to change your whole life by eliminating all the things that you're doing entirely, but you can certainly find plenty of opportunities to reduce expenses for more nickels and dimes to throw into the stock market in order to actually make your money and every dollar work for you instead of letting it go to waste. Now, investors, I have two more immediate actions that you could take in order to find extra cash to invest. But before I cover them, if anything I've said so far has helped you in the slightest bit, I have plenty more where that comes from: market insights, stock ideas, podcasts with masters of the market. So join me here on the channel by subscribing. And if this video specifically has helped you in any way, shape, or form, tap the thumbs up button to let me know to keep on at it with content just like this. With that, let's talk about cash back. Now, this is among the riskiest of immediate actions that you could take today, but only if you are not actually mature enough to handle spending less than you earn. It all comes down to using the power of credit with credit cards. Now, say what you want about using credit cards, but the only real reason that credit cards get a bad reputation and the Dave Ramseys of the world are out there protesting against them is because of your terrible spending habits and your inability to use them correctly. However, if you are to use them the right way, there's some amazing credit cards out there that offer cash back. That's money back in your pocket on every purchase, regardless of the purchase. What is better than that? That literally is as close as you can get to someone paying you to buy what you're already buying in the first place for nothing less than just a commitment to never carry a balance on the credit card each month. Now, I do stand by the financial rocks out there when they say that if you can't handle a credit card, then cut them up. But if you can, there's real power in these credit cards to actually get points, convert that into cash back. And matter of fact, I myself, using a cash back credit card, am able to muster up tens of hundreds of dollars every single month that I literally then just take and invest into the stock market. And if I may offer it, Capital One's Quicksilver card is my go-to. Now, it was my first credit card way back when, but it's evolved over time in terms of benefits and still remains a go-to card that I recommend to all my friends and family. 1.5% cash back no matter what, and as a frequent traveler without any foreign transaction fees. So check the link in my description or find a more suitable card for yourself with some research. But at the end of the day, never leave money on the table. Always claim your cash back. Now, and only now, am I going to mention the last actionable item that any and all of us can jump on, which is taking up a side gig. And I'm not talking about watching the Joshua Mayos of the YouTube world and thinking that you can earn $1 million by next Tuesday off of some whack side hustle ideas. I'm talking about actually getting yourself out there to work a second job, whether that's stacking the shelves early in the morning at some retailer in your community, becoming a tutor, or scooping ice cream, making banana splits in the evenings. Whatever it is, I have done it all before for extra cash when I felt I needed it. But for the love of God, there is no real get-rich-quick side hustle out there, so don't waste your time trying to actually do them. What works is getting down and dirty, putting forth blood, sweat, and tears to actually earn more money. So shout out to even one of my viewers, Andre, who was on Masters of the Market after he went ahead to get 2 or 3 extra jobs just to invest more money into the stock market, which, by the way, that interview is right here with Andre. Highly recommend it. But there you are, 5 actionable items to take right now to actually get more money in your hands to invest in the stock market. I'd personally love to know what you do to scrounge up extra cash, so let me know down in the comments. Be sure you're subscribed, and I'll catch you in the next one.